Good morning. Welcome back to Lazy Day Crochet. I am going to be making a baby blanket this weekend, and I decided to do it in my favorite wave pattern. This is a little bit more complicated than my earlier videos. I tried to make them, my starting one's pretty easy, just a two row repeat, 3-row repeat, things like that. This one, however, is an 8-row repeat. So if you're wanting to find a pattern, a fun pattern that's a little bit more thought-provoking, this is the one for you. Okay, so let me do the materials first. We're going to be using Red Heart Super Saver, light raspberry. Its recommendation is a 5.5 millimeter hook. And of course it's a medium weight yarn because it's acrylic. You can use whatever yarn you want. So if you want to use a cotton, a little bit more softer, things like that, you just do whatever you want. And then the hook that I'm using, and I want to explain this. This is a 3.75 millimeter, a US F5 hook. I'm using a smaller hook because the stitches in this pattern are already cause a flow in the blanket, and I want to keep the stitches a little bit more compact together instead of having them, wide spaced out. There's a lot of chain spaces, there's a lot of trebles, and so the blanket will already have a lot of movement to it. So, and that's why, I have said on another video that the bigger the hook that you use, basically the more movement you get in your final product or your final item. So I don't need that extra flow, that extra movement from the blanket. It will already have it. So I am using a even smaller hook to just help define and contain the stitches so it doesn't look like it's all over the place. You can use whatever hook you want, maybe one size down. It depends on how much tension you have in your yarn, how tight your stitches are. If your stitches are really loose, then maybe go down a size and a half or something. Okay, so this pattern, this wave, will be in sets of 16. So our foundation chain has to be 16, 16, 16, 16 to whatever length that you want. And then we're going to add 2 on the end. So 16, 16, 16, 16. And you keep chaining 16s together until you get the length you want, okay? I am going to, since I'm making my baby blanket, about the size of my little table here is about 6 sets. So it'll be a little over 20 inches, maybe 20, a little closer to 24. So 2 feet wide, I think, is a good baby blanket size. So I am going to do 6 sets, which is 96 stitches. And then we'll add the 2 on the end, okay? So chain and make sure you don't make your chain stitches super tight. You want to try to make them a little looser. When you're needing a looser chain, sometimes it's easier to go up a hook size so you don't have to, keep it in mind. You can just use a larger hook size and fly right through it. But so sets of 16, 16, 16 till the length that you want, and then meet me back here and we'll add our 2 and get started. All right, so I have my foundation chain done with my 6 sets, and sometimes I like to cheat. Well, it's not really cheating, it's just being super lazy. That every time I do a set of 16, I put in a stitch marker. When I know I'm doing 6 sets, I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then at this end is the 6th set. And then also, while I'm crocheting, I do every set with a stitch marker, and then if I lose count, if I get distracted and lose count, instead of having to go all the way back to the end, I can go to the last stitch marker and then count up to 16 and then clip it, and then 16, clip it until you get to the end. So if you're have any interest in that, that is a super easy way of counting without counting. All right, so I did 6 sets, which totaled 96 stitches, and now we have to add 2 at the end. We add 1 to help balance out our count, and then we add 1 more for the turning chain. So that means we skip one stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Okay, so we are going to do that. Now, this is not going to be, your normal chain after, or the normal row after your chain. We're going to get into it right now. So, do your single crochet, use your marker if you need to, if you want to help remember what your last stitch is. All right, so we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And I pick up this middle one that's coming out, and then the top. I leave the bottom one there. So I pick up these two parts of this stitch. We're single crocheting. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip 1. So we're going to skip this one. We're going to do a half double crochet in the next. So in the second one from where you are, so we're skipping 1, I'm going to do a half double crochet, and I split the yarn coming through. There we go. All right, we're going to chain 1, skip 1. So we're going to skip this one, and we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Remember that take your time when you're working on the foundation chain, because it is always so awkward to try to hold on to it and maneuver around, this thin line of yarn, that once you get that first row or 2 established, it's just so much easier just to fly through it. All right, so we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip 1. We're skipping this one. We're going to go in here. We're going to do a treble in the next stitch. A treble is 1 more loop over your hook than a double crochet. Okay, so a double crochet you go around once, and then with a treble you go twice. And we're going to skip this stitch, go into this stitch, and you're going to undo this off the hook just like you do a double, but you're going to do it 3 times instead of 2. So you yarn over, you go through 2 stitches. You yarn over, you go through 2 stitches. You yarn over, you go through 2 stitches. There you are. All right, we're going to do this twice. So we're going to chain 1, skip 1. We're going to do the treble again, which is 2 times around the hook. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. Then we are going to chain 1, skip 1. That's here. We're going to skip that one. Did I skip that right? Yes, I did. That was the skip stitch right there. Okay, so we skip 1. We're going to do the double in the next, in the second stitch away, because we're skipping one, double crochet. You want to try not to pull your stitch up with your double to meet your height of your treble, meaning you don't want to stretch that stitch out. You want to do your stitch just like you always do a double. You do a single always like you do a single, because this is a wave. So you don't want, the point is not to get all of these the same exact size. You see our wave starting here? So if you try to make all of your stitches even, you're not going to get this wave that we're aiming for. Okay, so this is our double. We're going to, we're going to chain one. We're going to skip one chain. So we are in this chain right here. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go into this one, do a half double crochet. Half double crochet. Oops. All right, let's see what we have here. So we have our starting single crochet, the next single crochet, chain one, skip one, half double, chain one, skip one, double crochet, chain one, skip one, treble, chain one, skip one, treble again, chain one, skip one, double, chain one, skip one, half double. So then we do, oh, I did my chain one already. So chain one, skip one, single crochet. And we're going to chain one, skip one, single crochet, and we're going to start our next wave here. So chain one, skip one, half double crochet, chain, wait, I split the yarn again, there we go. All right, chain one, skip one, double crochet, chain one, skip one, treble crochet. Treble means twice around the hook. And again, I'm going to pinch the bottom of the stitch to help keep it nice and tight so it's not crazy loose by the time I get to the top. You just hold the bottom of the stitch and it prevents your yarn from sliding in the stitch. That makes this, when you get to the end, so large. All right, chain one, skip one, another treble, so 2 times around. Hold the stitch. There we go. Chain one, skip one, double crochet. Chain one, skip one, half double crochet. Split it again. This yarn is great for splitting. This color for some reason. All right. Chain one, skip one, single crochet. Yeah. Chain one, skip one, single crochet. Did I chain that? Yes, I did. All right, chain one, skip one, half double crochet. We're going back up the wave again. Chain one, skip one, double crochet. Chain one, skip one, treble crochet. hold the stitch, pull through, pull through, pull through, chain 1, skip 1, treble again, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet twice around, hold the stitch, chain 1, skip 1, treble again, twice around, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Am I splitting that? Yes, I am. There we go. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Now I'm back to my markers that I have left in, and I just do that to make sure that my count is right. So this single crochet is the end of this wave. The next single crochet that we're doing, where we chain 1 and skip 1, should go into this one because I have marked it as the ending or beginning of a 16 stitch set, and it takes 16 stitches to do this pattern. So we're going to skip 1 and we're going to single crochet right here. So I know my count is good. We're going to keep going. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet, which is twice around the hook. Hold the stitch, through and through, chain 1, skip 1, another treble crochet, through, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, we're right back at our stitch marker, single crochet, chain 1, let me take this out. All right, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet, twice around, chain 1, whoa, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet, all right, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, all right, so we're going to chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Now, if you remember from the end, from our beginning, we had a single crochet, and then we started the skip and chain 1. So we had 2 single crochets together. Same thing at the end. We just did the single crochet, and now we're going to do another single crochet right at the end. Perfect. Let me move those. So here is what we have so far. It won't all fit into the camera, but you can see the waves that are forming in our pattern here. All right, so our next two rows, we're going to turn. And remember, if you turn it, so I said this on another video, if you turn your work away from you, your yarn will stretch, will go over your next stitch, and because there's not a twist in where your hook is, it's pulling that first stitch as well, and it's hard to see. It's difficult to know what that first stitch is. But if you turn it towards you, the stitch is open, the yarn is in the back of the stitch, and the twist is around the hook. So it's not interfering with your stitch at all, and you can clearly see the next place you're going to go. All right, so we're going to turn. And we're going to chain 1. It does not count as a stitch. It is only to get the height, so do not count it. You do not mark it. That is not your first stitch. So you're going to do a single crochet right into this first space. That is your first stitch. So you'll get your stitch marker and mark that first single crochet. The chain is for height. It's back here. You don't count it. You count the first single crochet. There's not a space here, so single crochet. All right. From here on out until we get to the other end, every stitch has a space between it. So we're going to single crochet in the space, and that half double is right here. How do I know that? Because it's the hole, it's the stitch that's to the left of our stitch. So our stitch is right here, so it's right here. It has to be because all of our stitches are backwards because we flipped. And this next stitch is our chain 1, which we single crochet in a chain 1 space. Here is our double, which means our stitch is right here to the left. Why? Because our stitches are backwards. So we're going to go into there, single crochet, chain 1 space, single crochet, treble, single crochet, chain 1 space, stitch, chain 1 space, stitch, chain 1 space, stitch, chain 1 space, stitch, chain 1 space. All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, so when we started, we did 16 plus 1, and then 1 for the foundation chain for us to start our row. So 17 is going to be the count for every wave. So that means this one will be the first single crochet space all the way across to the single crochet and the space, and that will be 17. That makes sense. Okay, so we're going to single crochet, space, stitch. I know that stitch looks funny, but it is the stitch. Single crochet, chain 1, the stitch, chain 1, the stitch, chain 1, the stitch, chain 1, stitch, chain 1, the stitch. Oh, by the way, if you want to see an easier way to make sure what your next stitch is, look at the top. Our next available V at the top is right here. This one is not a V anymore because we have stitched into it. So our next V is right there, and then right here, and then right here. Do you see those? So when you go into that V stitch, it's in that weird placement of where the half double crochet is. So stitch left, just like that, space, stitch, space. Now, just to test, we're going to start at the single crochet. So I know these are the trebles: double, half double, single, and here's our space. Here's our space right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ha ha! So our count is on point. And that's what our waves look like now. So these single crochet rows are just stabilizing rows to help get your stitches into, you know, into the correct position. So when you continue on, because you don't want this to be just all over the place. You don't want it to be like this. You want that single crochet to be able to go through and straighten out your work. Okay, so now you know to look for from the starting single crochet to the last space after the single crochet on this side, you'll have 17 stitches. So if you want to go 17, 17, 17 until you get to the end where you will have your single crochet or the chain one space, the single crochet, and then instead of the chain one space you have the last single crochet. So these single crochets will go together and this will be your 17th stitch. Okay, so go ahead, single crochet, stitch space, stitch space, stitch space. If you remember that, if you can just do that, you won't miss any spaces like I did at the other end. All right, so I'll get down to the end and I'll meet you down there. All right, so I'm at the end. Last 2 stitches, the last 2 single crochets, single crochet in that one, single crochet in that one. There we go. So now you have your wave. That's the bottom part of your wave. Now we're going to turn. We're going to have another easy row. We're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet, mark our stitch. Oh, I can use this one. And single crochet all the way across. This one you're just single crocheting and the single crochets, piece of cake. You're going to do this all the way to the end. I'll meet you down there. And then we are going to start doing our double-sided waves. So not only will we have this bottom part, but we're going to do a top part on top on the wave. So that it'll be a lot of fun. Get to the end, put me on pause, get to the end, I'll meet you down there. All right. I made the single crochets all the way down. I just need the last 2 here. There we go. All right, we're going to turn our work. Now our wave, the way that we do it is, it's always going to be the same, but where you start in the wave is not always the same. So we are going to chain 4, 1, where's my hook? Yeah, my hook goes backwards. 2, 3, 4. That counts as a treble crochet. The 2 times around your hook. Yeah, it's the tall stitch. So we're going to mark that up the top. We're going to skip the first stitch, which is right here, because we made this treble. Okay, so we're not going to go into the first stitch. We're going to treble in the next stitch. So 2 times around your hook. When it's like this, I will put my finger here to keep the post itself from wrapping around my hook. So 2 times around. We're skipping the first stitch because we already made it. We're going into the second stitch. Again, I'm going to grab it. 1, 2, nope, I split the stitch, hold on. There we go. All right, so 1, 2, 3 times through. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1. We're going to double crochet. And this is the pattern you remember. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. All right, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. So now our peak, which is our trebles, all the way to the side, which means our smallest part of our wave is where this peak is. All right, so all right, so we're going to chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, treble 2 times around. Here we go. Chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet. Oops. 2 times around. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Did I skip one? Yes, I did. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Whoa. Chain 1, skip 1. Where am I at? Half double crochet. Well, goodness. Can't keep the yarn in the hook. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Let's stop and see what we got here. All right, so you can see we're building waves between our waves. Okay, so our next row here, we're going to have another set of waves that match with these waves, and we're going to do a front post stitch around to join them so they look like one long stitch. I think it'll be really nice. All right, so let's get this finished. We did single, chain 1, single, so we chain 1. And you know how the easiest way to tell if you've done a chain 1 or not, when you complete a stitch, there are typically two stitches or 2 loops that come together right here. It's your top loop and whatever is the connecting loop. So if you have a double, I'll show you each time. But there's, I can't think of, maybe a treble or a half double might have 3, but most of them have 2. My point is that if you have more than one stitch coming to between your hook and your yarn, so I have 2, see? If you have more than one, that is not a chain 1 space. When you do a chain 1 space, you will always have one loop connecting your yarn from the ball and the yarn on your hook. Okay, so that's how you know if you've done a chain 1 space, is that you have one single loop. All right, so where am I at now? So we did, okay, seriously, where am I at? Single, yeah. Yep, single. We did the chain 1. We're going to skip 1. We're going to do half double crochet. Wait. We got to go up. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was going up. Dang it. All right, so we chain 1, we skip 1, half double crochet. There we go. Oh, so yes, on a half double crochet you have loops. My point is, if you have more than one, you know you don't have a chain 1 space. So chain 1 space will always have the one loop there. If you have multiples, you have not done a chain 1 space, okay? Easy way to remember it. All right, so we have the treble. So now we chained 1, we skip 1, we need to do a double. Chain 1, skip 1, treble. Chain 1, skip 1, treble again. Chain 1, skip 1, double. Get off of there. Get off of there. There we go. If you snagged any part of a piece of yarn that should not be on your hook, you won't be able to extend your yarn up. It'll be stuck. Okay, so if you can do this, you know the only yarn that's on your hook is what's coming from the ball. All right, so I have 2, which means I have not chained 1 yet. And this is single, half double, double, treble, treble, double. Then we chained 1, skip 1, half double. Chain 1, skip 1, single. Chain 1, skip 1, single. And if you're questioning whether you've messed up something, like maybe this was another treble or something, you can look at your previous wave, the wave that's underneath. You're going to be single crocheting where the trebles are. And that's exactly what we did. So, and that's going to be like that the whole time. So your trebles at the top are where the singles are here. Singles, trebles, trebles, singles. So that's just an easy way to just eyeball to see if your stitches are off, like you didn't skip 1 or you skipped 2 instead of just 1. That's an easy way to look to gauge if your stitches are correct. I'm always looking for cheats like that because I hate getting to all the way to the end to realize I have messed up somewhere. All right, so there's 2 loops there, so I know I haven't chained 1. We're going to skip 1. What do we have here? So we did single, single, so we have half double. Chain 1, skip 1, double. Chain 1, skip 1, treble. Dang it, I wasn't holding in it and I was just trying to do it. Okay, so double, skip 1, treble. When I don't hold it, I just try to keep it tight enough where it's not going to pull the yarn, and my hook almost always comes out. Skip one. We chained one, skip one, treble. Dang it, I didn't hold it there at the beginning. It's all right, it's not bad. Chain one, skip one, double. Chain one, skip one, half double. Chain one, skip one, single. Chain one, skip one, single. Chain one, skip one, half double. Chain one, skip one, double. Chain one, skip one, treble. Two around. Chain one, skip one, treble. Chain one, skip one, double. Oops. Chain one, skip one, half double. Chain one, skip one, single. Chain one, skip one, single. Chain one, skip one, half double. Chain one, skip one, double. Chain one, skip one. Now, listen, if you haven't got onto the end, if you're doing a longer blanket and haven't gotten to the end yet, put me on pause, complete to the end, and then meet me back here. All right, so we are on our last few stitches here. This is a double. I have chained one. We're going to skip one. We're going to treble. No, chain one. Stop. On our last stitch, we're going to do exactly what we did at the beginning, which we did one treble and then two trebles. And then we did the chain one and went down. So there's no chain one between the ones on the ends. So going back to the other end, we're not chaining one, we're just going to treble in the last stitch. Just like that. All right, now, just for information's sake, there's typically a right and wrong side. And the even sides are the wrong side. Okay? So the only reason why that's important is because when we start doing front posts on this next round, you always want your front posts on the same side. Okay? So we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3. Dang it. 4. This is our starting treble. It matches the one that we just did the row before. We're going to put in our stitch marker in that 4th chain. That's going to be the top of our treble. Then we're going to treble again, but we're going to do it with a front post treble. So instead of just going into the stitch, I'm actually going in the top of the next stitch and repeating it, but I'm doing it around the stitch. So we're going to chain one. I'm going to show you again. Chain one. We're going to skip one. This is a double crochet. So we're going to loop over, yarn over. We're going to go behind the stitch. Grab the yarn. Bring it back to the front. We're going to do a double crochet here. 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. That's your double. Okay. Chain 1. Now this is the half double. So we go around the stitch. Okay, so then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to just regular single crochet in the single crochets. Chain 1. All right, then we're going to single crochet in the single crochet there. Okay, chain 1. We're going to half double crochet in the half double front post, half double crochet in the half double crochet. Chain 1. We're going to double crochet on the double crochet. Chain 1. We're going to treble around the treble. Chain 1. We're going to treble around the treble again. Chain 1. We're going to double around the double. Chain 1. We're going to half double around the half double. Chain 1. Now we're at our single crochets again, so we're going to single crochet, chain 1, go into the single crochet. There we go. Chain 1. Let's look at what we got going on here. So these are extensions to give the appearance of one long stitch. So this is our wave. We'll go back through after this is done and do the single crochets again to help stabilize and straighten out our stitches. So we chained 1, we're going to half double around the half double. Chain 1, we're going to double around the double. Chain 1, we're going to treble around the treble. Chain 1, we're going to treble around the treble. Chain 1, we're going to double around the double. Chain 1, we're going to half double around the half double. Chain 1, we're going to single crochet in the single crochet. Chain 1, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 1. We're going to continue this all the way down, and then I'll meet you at the end. So continue this pattern all the way down. You're going to do 2 singles, and then on your half doubles, doubles, and trebles, you're going to front post around those, which means you go behind the stitch, bring everything forward, and do your stitch there. All right, so put me on pause, go through this row, meet me at the end. All right, so I'm down to the last 2 trebles. I have gone through the double and added the chain 1. What is this? That's why I can't watch TV and crochet at the same time, especially when it's true crime, because I get involved and then I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. So let me frog it back. All right, so I did the treble. If you want to take this time to just lay down your work and check to make sure you didn't put any extra doubles, or you know what, you all aren't like me. You don't make mistakes like that. I am famous. Oh, darn it. I am not. This is not my favorite hook. The reason being is usually the handles will have, you know, a flat piece on it that for your thumb that tells you what angle the end of your hook is at. And this, if you see my other videos where I use my size 4, that's like this, I have to hold it way up here to have this flat part so I can feel where the end of my crochet hook is. And I hate doing that because it gives me a lot of fatigue in my hand that I can't hold it like this. Let me see if I can give you an example. Here we go. Like this. See how it has flat parts right here? So when you hold it, I know that the hook, the opening of the hook is where my thumb is. So when I turn it upside down, I know that's what I need to do to get it through the stitch. And I can roll it, and it'll go right. I can stop it right at the same point where the hook is in the same place. On this one, there's nothing telling me where the end of my hook is, and so somehow I get it twisted, and then the hook starts popping off the yarn because I'm holding it in the wrong direction. I'm gonna have to try to get another 3.75 millimeter because this is making my hand hurt. All right, hooks are important. I don't have any bamboos because woo, they're like $50 a piece. Something like that's crazy. Or the set, set. All right, so where was I at? I'm at the single. I did the crochet, or the chain 1, double. All right, last ones. The treble. We don't chain 1 because it's our last stitch, but we are going to treble. Hold the stitch if you need to. All right, so we don't do a front post on this end because I want my ends straight. I don't want to have to deal with it poofing out like that. I want my edge straight. So we have these done. Now we're going to turn our work. This, of course, is the wrong side. But we are going to do 2 rows of single crochet. So single crochet all the way through. But remember, you could do the chain 1, or no chain 1 here. Chain 1 space and the stitch. Chain 1 stitch, chain 1 stitch, chain 1 stitch. So we're going to chain 1 for the height. This one does not count as a stitch like these did. So chain 1 for the height, single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to move up our marker. You can get rid of this one. All right. So that's our first single crochet. We're going to single crochet. No, there's no chain space there, Sandy. Stop it. All right. So we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to single crochet in the chain 1, single crochet in the stitch, chain 1 in the stitch. Man, those half double crochets are tricky. Chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, all right, come on, there we go, chain 1, stitch, chain 1, stitch, chain 1, stitch, chain 1, stitch, chain 1 in that weird half double, chain 1, single, chain 1, single, chain 1, half double, chain 1. Now let's just look real quick. See, it's already starting to stabilize that your waves up front. All right, so we're going to single crochet all the way across in every chain 1 space and in every stitch. After that's done, I will meet you at the end. Put me on pause. All right, so I've made it all the way down to my last 3 stitches. I need to do the chain 1 space and the trebles at the end. Well, let's just see, my hook is facing the top. Why is it doing that? Because I didn't know where it was. All right, let me choke this crochet hook. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so we have our single crochets all the way across. You should have something like this. Okay, now we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1. Where is the top of my, oh my goodness. All right, we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet into the first stitch. And we're going to move our marker up. Okay. And then we are going to single crochet all the way across again. Again, this is just going to help stabilize the row that we just did, and it will help stabilize our next set of waves which come after this one. All right, single crochet all the way down, and I'll meet you at the end. All right, I have made it to my last 2 single crochets here. There we are. That is looking so amazing. And these are going to be the waves that we do from here on out. These right here. This single one is just going to stay as the edge. And it's okay if you still have like a small curve in your work. It will straighten out the longer your blanket gets. Trust the process, as most people say. Okay, so we're going to turn our work. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start out chaining 1, and we're going to single crochet in the first stitch. Make sure you move your marker up if you're using one. Now, on this bottom row, the pattern was 2 singles, half double, double, 2 trebles, a double, half double, single space, single space. So we're going to do this same pattern now, but the difference is that we're going to do this bottom side first, and then this is considered the top part of the wave. Okay, so we'll actually do this bottom part first. All right, so just like these two, the single crochets are right after each other. There's no space, no chain 1. All right, so we have our 2 singles. Now we do the pattern that we know. So we chain 1, we skip 1, we do a half double. Chain 1, skip 1, we do the double. Chain 1, skip 1, we do the treble. Chain 1, skip 1, we do a treble. Don't split it, there we go. Chain 1, skip 1, we do the double. Chain 1, skip 1, we do the half double. Chain 1, skip 1, we do a single. Chain 1, skip 1, we do the single. And this is going to be exactly like this bottom row. Do you see? So where we have our trebles here, we will have singles on both sides of it. Where we have our trebles here, here and here, we'll have the singles in the middle. Okay, so you can see the pattern. Go through this row as you know how to do it. Single crochet, space, or chain 1, half double, chain 1, double, chain 1, treble, chain 1, treble, chain 1, and then back down, double, chain 1, half double, chain 1, single, chain 1, and then you're going right back up, single, chain 1. See what? All right, so let's get to the end, and I will meet you there. Put me on pause. Okay, so I got to the end, and I have my 2 singles here, and I realize I have 3 more spaces. So that means my count is off somewhere. Once again, watching true crime on TV, I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to go through. The easiest way, like I said before, is to check to see if your singles are with your singles, if your trebles are with your trebles, singles are with your singles. Right here is 1. You see how this one's moved over more than this one? So my count is wrong here. Let's take my hook out because I know I'm going to have to frog it back. Let's see what I did. So we know we're good here where the trebles are. So trebles, double, half double, single, single. I forgot the half double. This is a double. It's double, treble, treble. That's why it's moved over one. Okay, so we know where the problem is. So I'm frogging back to this single with this chain one. Right there. I'm going to put in the half double. And then the double. All right, I will continue and meet you again. All right, so I redid it with the right counts everywhere, and I know that it's right because this is the half double stitch right here. I'm going to skip and then do 2 singles in the end. No chain one space between those. We're going to turn our work. Look at that. Your work should be laying a lot straighter now. It shouldn't have like that curve. It should be laying a lot straighter. Now, we're going to repeat this set where we do the front posts, crochets over the half double, the doubles, and the trebles, okay? That's what happens on the rest of these that we do from here on out. We do not do this bottom row until you're at the top or the length that you want and you're done. You just repeat where you just do this one row after the 2 double crochets. You do 1 row and then you stop. So when you're still going, you know, you go to whatever length you want to go to, but when you want to stop, do the 2 double crochets and then the very next row and then stop. It will match this row. Okay? And then of course you can do a border or whatever if you want to, or you can just leave it like this. I mean, it's completely up to you. So we're going to chain 1 for height. Does not count as a stitch. Single crochet in your first stitch. Move up your marker. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And now you're just mirroring everything underneath, okay? So we're going to chain 1. Where is my, oh my goodness, I have got to get a new hook. All right, so we chained 1. We're going to front post a half double crochet around the half double crochet. Chain 1. We're going to double crochet around the double crochet. Chain 1. We're going to treble around the crochet, around the double, I mean the treble crochet. Chain 1. We're going to treble crochet, front post treble crochet around the treble crochet. Chain 1. We're going to double crochet, front post double crochet around the double. Chain 1. We're going to front post half double crochet around the half double crochet. Chain 1. Then you're just going to single crochet in the single crochets. Chain 1. Single crochet. Chain 1. Then we'll front post half double around the half double. Front post double crochet around the double crochet. Front post treble crochet around the treble crochet. Chain 1. Treble crochet front post around the treble crochet. Chain 1. Front post double crochet around the double crochet. Chain 1. Front post half double crochet around the half double crochet. Chain 1. Then you're just going to single crochet in the single crochets. Okay, don't forget your chain ones. Chain one, and then you start your front posts again. Okay, so when you do your waves, your work it'll pull in a little, but when you do your 2 rows of single crochets, it will straighten it back out. Now I'm going to leave you to it. We have gone over the pattern. It's very simple. I mean, overall it's really simple. The pattern is simple because you're just scaling up, you're scaling up, you're scaling down. So when you do your waves, you'll do a row of 2 rows of single crochets above, and then you'll do your waves again. You'll do your 2 singles, right? That's what we're on right now, is the 2 singles, and then half double, double, treble, treble, double, half double, single, single. Okay? Then you do your 2 rows of single crochets, and then you'll go to this one. So you're going to chain 4 to do your, because it's going to be your treble. You mark that 4th stitch at the top. Then you do your next treble, chain 1, double, chain 1, half double, chain 1, single, chain 1, single, chain 1, half double, chain 1, double, chain 1, treble. You see what I'm doing? And then you'll turn around and do this same exact thing again. When you go to do your post stitches, this is the wrong side. If you see these raised stitches, you are on the wrong side to do post stitches. You have to do the post stitches on this side. This is the right side. If you start doing post stitches on this side, then this, where your yarn is coming out the back, will be on this side, and you don't want that. You want this pattern all the way up to whatever length that you're wanting, and then you want these raised stitches in the back. Okay? I have faith in you all. Just go slow and check yourself. Like trebles, singles, trebles, singles. When you do your next row, you'll go singles, trebles, singles, trebles. You see what I'm saying? So, you guys got this. Have a wonderful time crocheting this. And if you're watching true crime, make sure everything's good before you flip it and start going the other direction. Because if you make a mistake like I do, you have to frog it back. Or not. I don't care. I won't tell. All right. Have a wonderful time with this, and I will see you later. Bye.